Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're doing something maybe a little different.
Yeah.
We're looking at an hour of just regular English conversation. It's between two people, John and Anna, from Tahmid's practice series.
Ah, right. Just casual chat.
Exactly. And our mission here isn't really about their English level, but more about, listening closely. What can we actually pull out?
Interesting. Like hidden details.
Yeah. Insights about, well, daily life, what people like, maybe even those little aha moments you sometimes find in just normal talk.
Absolutely. It sounds simple, but you'd be surprised.
Can an ordinary chat show us something, well, extraordinary? Let's find out.
Yeah, I think it can. Because what looks like just language practice, it's actually full of clues.
Clues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like routines, food choices, how people use their free time,
Yeah.
these everyday things. They paint a really vivid picture.
Right. Of individual lives, maybe even culture, subtly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's realizing that the everyday stuff, the mundane, can be super revealing if you just, pay attention.
Okay, so let's dive in. Mornings. How do they start their day?
Well, John is pretty straightforward.
Coffee, first thing. That's his wake-up call.
Mm-hmm. Gets him going. But Anna, different story.
She's up at 6:30, and she does water, stretching, then coffee.
Yeah, it's quite a contrast, isn't it, how they kick off the day.
Definitely. One goes straight for the stimulant.
And the other prepares the body first, almost.
What do you think that suggests?
Well, it's interesting. It could point to, like, fundamentally different needs or ways of facing the day.
Also,
John's immediate coffee grab might be about wanting that alertness fast, maybe more reactive.
okay, yeah. Wake up, be awake.
Right. Whereas Anna's routine, the water, the stretching, it feels more proactive, maybe even a bit more mindful.
Priming the system before the caffeine.
Exactly. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What does that first hour tell us about how they manage energy or even self-care generally?
That's a great way to put it. Not just being awake, but how you get there. Makes you think about your own morning habits, right? What are those things you have to do and what need are they really filling?
Definitely food for thought.
Speaking of food, let's move on to that. Always relatable. Anna, she actually enjoys grocery shopping.
Oh, really? Lots of people don't.
Right. She especially likes picking fresh fruit and veg. Strawberries are her favorite thing to buy.
Strawberries. Okay. Nice specific detail.
And when she eats out, it's usually spaghetti with tomato sauce. Pretty consistent.
Okay. A go-to dish. And John?
He enjoys grocery shopping. Sometimes, he says. So, a bit more on the fence.
Uh-huh. Casual.
And his restaurant choice? Burger and fries. Classic.
Okay, so burger and fries versus spaghetti. And loving grocery shopping versus sometimes enjoying it.
What could these simple choices tell us?
Well, they seem simple, but food preferences often tap into things like comfort, habit, maybe even cultural background, subtly.
Like Anna liking fresh stuff, the strawberries. What
Yeah.
could that mean?
Could be an appreciation for, natural flavors, maybe seasonality, or perhaps it connects to good memories, or even a focus on, well, healthier eating maybe.
The spaghetti.
That could be pure comfort food. Familiar, reliable, maybe something linked to home or tradition for her.
Okay. And John's burger and fries.
That might lean more towards convenience, perhaps.
No.
Classic American comfort food, widely available, reliable. His sometimes enjoyment of shopping might fit with that too. Maybe less focus on the process of getting ingredients.
Interesting. So not random choices at all, really. They often have roots somewhere.
Exactly. Personal history, maybe cultural norms playing out quietly.
Little windows into their world. Okay, let's shift to free time. Hobbies.
Right.
John plays guitar, he reads books, and he hikes on weekends. Says there's a peaceful little mountain near his city.
Okay, so a mix. Creative, intellectual, and getting outdoors.
Yeah, seems quite solitary, some of it, like the reading and maybe hiking.
Mm-hmm.
And Anna.
Her hobbies are painting and yoga. She finds them relaxed. Painting and yoga. Interesting pairing. Both can be quite mindful.
She also mentioned something interesting about yoga, that it's hard at first but gets easier.
Pointing out the learning curve, the value of sticking with it.
Right. So what do we see in these hobbies?
Well, it's striking, isn't it? John's mix, creative, reading, and then the physical outdoor element with hiking
Yeah.
suggests maybe someone who needs different kinds of stimulation, both inward-looking and outward engaging.
Yeah, that makes sense. Variety for rejuvenation.
Perhaps. And Anna,
Yeah.
painting and yoga. They feel more focused on inner calm, creative flow, maybe physical centering with the yoga.
And her comment about practice making yoga easier.
Yeah, that highlights maybe a value placed on persistence, on seeing progress through effort.
It's interesting how these leisure activities kind of echo how they start their day, maybe. John's varied input, Anna's focused preparation.
That's a fascinating connection, actually. It could tie together, yeah.
Yeah.
How they seek balance and recharge.
Right. Okay, thinking about recharging or maybe escaping. Travel dreams, where do they want to go?
Ah, yes. Travel aspirations.
Anna dreams of Japan, specifically seeing the cherry blossoms.
Wow, very visual. That iconic natural beauty.
Exactly. John wants to visit Italy.
For the art, the history.
Nope. For the pizza. Real Italian pizza.
Huh.
Mm.
Okay, a culinary mission. Food is the motivator.
Definitely seems like sensory experiences are key for both, right? Sight for Anna, taste for John.
Absolutely. And those reasons tell you something about their values, maybe.
Yeah.
And seeking that specific aesthetic, natural beauty moment.
And John chasing that authentic taste experience,
Yes.
culturally significant food.
Right. And it connects to memory, too. And I mentioned her last holiday was the beach last summer.
She remembered specific details.
Beautiful, she said. Blue water and soft sand. Those sensory details are what stick.
Yeah, they make the memory vivid. And John apparently hopes to hit the beach this year.
See, that power of positive sensory memories shaping future plans.
So true. Okay, let's connect these preferences back to the daily grind, work life.
Right. How does it all play out day to day?
John's an English tutor. He teaches students from all over the world.
Oh, interesting. So lots of interaction, cultural exchange built into the job.
Yeah, he mentioned learning about many cultures through his students, and as a graphic designer.
Okay, creative field, logos, websites.
She enjoys it, she says, but finds deadlines stressful.
Ah, the classic deadline stress.
Mm-hmm.
Very relatable for many, especially in creative roles.
So, looking at their jobs, any connections jump out?
Well, John's tutoring role, that constant communication and learning about other cultures, it seems to fit with that curiosity we maybe saw with his reading or hiking, engaging with the world,
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
and Anna's graphic design work. It clearly requires creativity, visual thinking.
Yeah.
That links nicely with her painting hobby.
Definitely. And the stress.
Well, deadline pressure is common, but it does highlight that tension in creative work, balancing artistic process with, practical time constraints.
True. Okay, let's wrap up with something really practical they shared. Tips for English learners.
Ah, yes. What advice did they give?
Anna's advice is all about consistency. Practice a little every day, even just 10 minutes, she said.
Good advice. Little and often.
And she also said to listen as much as possible. Podcasts, songs, movies, immersion.
Very sound. Passive learning, getting the rhythm.
John's main tip, don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Crucial. Absolutely crucial. Fear holds so many learners back.
He emphasized they're just part of learning. And he even said, listening to their conversation is good practice.
Meta. But true. Listening is key.
And Anna added one more thing. Persistence. English gets easier over time, she reassured learners.
That's important too. Managing expectations and encouraging people to stick with it.
So their advice seems pretty solid, right?
Absolutely. It's grounded in what we know works for language learning. Consistent small efforts, like Anna said, embracing mistakes, like John said, and immersion through listening. It's a really encouraging, well-rounded message, practical steps, and the right mindset.
Yeah, definitely. So bringing this all together, it's kind of amazing, isn't it?
What we pulled out.
Yeah, from just like an hour of them chatting, we got insights into their morning routines, food, hobbies, travel dreams, work, even learning tips.
Contrasting approaches, little preferences, sensory details.
It's so easy to just let conversation wash over you, but when you actually listen closely,
You find these layers, individual values, maybe personality traits peeking through.
and it really makes you think, doesn't it? How much do we miss in our own daily chats?
Totally. What little offhand comments or subtle cues from people around us might actually be offering, deeper insights if we just pause to notice.
Exactly. So maybe the final thought for you listening is, what small details in your everyday conversations, those little habits or preferences people mention, what might they reveal?
Yeah, what bigger picture might be hiding in those tiny details of your own life or the lives of others if you looked a bit closer?
A fascinating way to think about our interactions, definitely.